Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be testing Oblivion Remastered on a couple of different graphics cards. I'm going to throw in a few graphics cards into my current rig, which is like a mixed-use workstation kind of build. Running Windows 11 Pro as the latest, at least at the time of recording, the latest NVIDIA driver. CPU is a Ryzen 9 7900 with PBO turned on. With 32 gigs of RAM, 6000 mega transfers a second CL30, and the game is running off a Gen 4 NVMe SSD. Going to be testing the 4070 Ti Super, the 3060 Ti, and the 1660 Ti. I'm hoping my older graphics cards can live up to the game. Alright, we're going to start off max settings. So the ultra quality preset, we're going to turn off the LSS, and we have hardware lumen on ultra. And we have a whopping 27 FPS in this area. Now I have found that this kind of wooded area called a forest, we are getting sub 30 FPS. It's pretty bad. Okay, so the average is 28, lows of 22. It's pretty rough. This is on max settings in the rain. Does look lovely though. Right. We need to change this. So first of all, I'm going to put this back down to high. And I found high with the ultra quality textures is pretty nice looking. And we are straight up to 50. I don't find that there's a huge difference between high and ultra. I'm sorry. It's for the YouTubes. Yeah, we're getting this to the 50. It isn't actually too bad, considering I played Oblivion on the 360 at like 30 FPS or less. I'm pretty happy with playing it like this, especially in outdoor areas. I'm going to switch to the software ray tracing. That's 60 FPS. It is noticeably brighter though. It doesn't look as good, but if you're looking for that extra bit of performance, I do think this is worth it. Is it frozen? No. Oh, they turned down the resolution scale, that's why. We're at 52. It's not really that much of a difference, is it? Software versus hardware lumen. We're only really losing 5 FPS. Let's add in a bit of DLSS quality, put 20 to 25% sharpening. For me, is pretty nice. Yeah. We're into the low 60s. Looks good. Decent performance. Well, decent performance for a UE5 game. There's the stutter right there. There's another one. Let's walk into a bit more of a dense forest area. Another stutter. It is ridiculous that we have just grown to accept stuttery UE5 games. Really, this seems to be the worst kind of area. Any area around the woods here or in Blackwood down here tends to have the lowest FPS for me. But if you were to go inside of a cave or something like that, let's go to another cave and just show you. What the hell? I am getting followed around by you. Great. So the same sentence as before. Oh, here we go. Same sentence as before. Oh my god. Just let me talk. high quality preset, 1440p DLSS quality. We're getting 115 FPS. Let's get the average again. 125 FPS average, 93 FPS lows. This is more than playable. I should also note that when I'm using DLSS, I'm actually using DLSS 4. You can change it in the NVIDIA app to force DLSS 4. I'll put it on screen. So there is a minor reduction in FPS. There's a minor reduction in FPS gained, but there is a fantastic improvement in image quality. Yeah, so back out here, we're just touching the 60 FPS mark. The lows are terrible due to those stutters. Overall, it's not too bad an experience. Also, with DLSS 4, you don't get as much of the ghosting. There's a little bit of ghosting in the game, but you don't get as much. Well, I will turn on... I don't like using it, to be honest with you. I don't like the feel or the look of it. But we can also turn on frame gen. Add it on here. You notice that the graph is going haywire now. It's not the worst implementation I've ever seen of frame gen, but I just really don't like it. There's like a weird, probably hard to see on YouTube, but there's like a really weird motion blur. It just doesn't feel as smooth as the FPS might portray. Yeah, I really don't like it. Sorry to all you frame gen fans out there, but I just don't really like it. DLSS balance is probably the lowest I would go in this. I do find it starts to interfere with and cause a little bit of smudginess. Technical term, of course. God, I don't know if you can see it right here, but the smudginess in DLSS is incredible. It's just not working very well. We'll keep it to TSR. Yeah, it's a night and day difference. And our FPS didn't drop that much. 50 FPS. 55 FPS. The 10 FPS dropped from DLSS balance just to normal TSR. It's not too bad. But I think it's time that we moved on to 4K. Okay, switching over to 4K. Things sync off, things off. Still on the high preset. Oh Lord. Barely 32 FPS. Let me reset the counter. My Lord. Yeah, this ain't it, boys. Alright, let's turn on some DLSS to help us out. We'll go with balanced first. 57 FPS, okay. Ooh, lots of spikes. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm getting this amount of FPS with DLSS. Ooh, that's a nasty stutter. I spoke too soon. Let's try performance. I don't think it went down in FPS. I thought I killed you. Never mind. The Oblivion key looks really good though. Come on.
Oh, what's the matter? Is the baby?
Sorry, what was that? I know it says we're at 54 FPS, 51 FPS now. It really doesn't feel like it. It feels very stuttery. Doesn't feel like a balanced, steady 50 FPS. This is with DLSS performance. Come on, load. Let's turn off hardware ray tracing just to see what the performance is like. We've now got a 60 FPS experience. It still looks good. I don't think the shadows are quite good. It looks a lot brighter, a bit washed out. No, ultimately, it's not too bad. I still don't think it would be my preferred way to play it. Could I switch to medium? Okay, medium with maybe a balanced DLSS. Okay, we're starting to look closer to the 360 version of the console now. We are hitting 65 FPS now. Okay, so let's go back to the 1440p. Okay, high preset, texture quality to ultra. I'm going to put shadow quality ultra as well. And we're going to have hardware lumen on medium. DLSS quality. And even though it's currently reading around 58 FPS, this feels a lot smoother than it was at the 4K with DLSS performance. Yeah, if you have the 4070 Ti Super, this is how I'm going to continue playing it. I increase my athletics. It's tested in Oblivion. Awesome, we're in the high 90s, same presets. High settings, ultra textures, medium lumen, hardware ray tracing. Done. Right. I think it's time to switch over to 3060 Ti. Same settings as before, 1440p, high with the ultra texture quality preset, hardware lumens on medium, DLSS quality, and we're a sub 30 FPS. Oh, this is rough. There's such a delay in everything. If I click escape, that took a long time to load. Let's go full screen. I'm going to drop this down to 1080p. Okay, 1080p, same settings. 35 FPS. It is smoother though. That slight bit's more smoother. We've got a console quality experience. That's not too bad. Let's go over here. Water brings it down to sub 30 again.
What's that? Whoa! Why won't you die?
Because I'm on YouTube. There's people watching me. Jittery. Let's see if I can kill this guy. Oh, that really took a dip. 17 FPS there for a second. I'm being honest. I think we might switch from hardware ray tracing. High preset. Okay. We're getting 40 FPS. I do have the ultra textures on actually, and this is an 8GB card. So let's reduce that ever so slightly now. Let's move texture quality to medium. There we go. This is a noticeably better experience. That 8GB of VRAM is probably the bottleneck here. Much smoother. Still in DLSS quality. Could I turn hardware ray tracing back on? Let's stick it on low. Okay. .40 FPS. Yeah, that's quality. I think software ray tracing is going to be the one for this card. I might also turn up the sharpness a slight bit. Actually, no, I'll leave it. FPS. Yeah. This is plenty playable. There's a bit of flicker with the grass. It's obviously not great at this time of the day. Let's go to daylight. I am recording and gaming on the same PC, so I'm dying because I'm a vampire. So I'll do a check and see what the FPS is like without recording as well. Because I imagine that's going to reduce the FPS a little bit. I think it usually reduces by about 5% when you're recording on the same PC. Let's go indoors. Indoors, we're doing fine. Indoors, we're at 100 FPS. Start recording FPS again. This looks absolutely fine. Let's have a look. We're at medium, aren't we? Mostly medium settings. Let's go high preset. We're going to have to turn down the texture quality anyway. Put that down to medium. Doesn't look any different. We are at 70-ish FPS. Okay, we're back in that forest. It is looking a lot more stuttery. I think we may be in business. So switch to the optimized settings. And we're getting 58, 61 FPS outside. It obviously doesn't look as good without the hardware ray tracing, but you can always change things around a little bit. I might put this back up to 1440p. And then switch this to DLSS balanced. Let's see how we are. No, it can't do 1440p. The 8 gigs of VRAM is a killer. However, optimize graphics settings with hardware lumen on low looks a decent bit better.
What can I do for you?
Oh, you're looking a bit pixelated.
You too.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think you're going to have to, if you have an 8 gigabyte of VRAM card, you're going to have to make the unfortunate decision to either play on low or, oh God, here we are. 25 FPS. Let's just switch to low. Actually, no, let's just switch back to software ray tracing. Yeah, I think you're unfortunately just going to have to make do with much lower settings. Unreal Engine 5's a bitch. Can't wait to see how the 1660 Ti fares. Let's switch over now. Already. Okay, so there's a bit of a problem. I've tried, changing graphics drivers, doing the clean install and stuff like that, but 1660 Ti won't launch the game. Also won't launch OBS as well. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot that and do a video for another day. But no, hope you enjoyed that. I know a lot of people are wondering if their system can run Oblivion Remastered. I'm hoping a few patches are on the way because especially those 8 gigabyte VRAM cards, they're really suffering. Having forced ray tracing in this era is, I don't really like it. I really don't. 4070 Ti Super is barely running this game at 60 FPS at 1440p. Yeah, and I still have to use quality upscaling as well. But look, that's the gaming industry at the moment. If you like it, please like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. I'm also going to be doing more of these game tests as well, so let me know what games you'd like to see in this hardware. Obviously, I have the 4070 Ti Super, 3060 Ti, and I have the 1660 Ti as well. So if you'd like to see any new games, old games, whatever, leave them in the comments down below. We'll see you in the next one.